Hey guys, welcome to another video tutorial. In this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make an animated GIF or GIF, and this was actually a tutorial requested by Angel of Darkness 2205, and you can check out his channel, check out some of his videos, they're pretty good. So anyways, let's get started. We'll open up Photoshop CS4 and I'll just be showing you what we're going to be creating. It's a very basic animation, but it's basic so hopefully it can give you more ideas on how to create more advanced stuff, and it can give you the basic idea of creating an animated GIF to hopefully let you expand on the idea. Anyway, this is what we're going to be creating. As I said, it is very basic, and you can see that one by one words come in and a flashing apple drops from the top to the bottom and continues flashing for about a second. Okay, so let's create that and we'll make a new document, call it animation, and make it 500 by 500 pixels and leave the background content as white. Hit OK, and now you want to create the final image of your animation. So for me, it was the I like apple and the red apple as final frame of the animation. So I'm going to create that now, and I'm just going to place two pictures of the apples. So I'll go to red apple and I'll place a green apple, just like that. Now I want to resize both of these together, so select one of them, hit Command or Control and hit the red one. That way select both of them at once. And again, to resize them, you can either hit Command T or Control T on Windows and Shift resize them down together. And I'll move them there. So now notice I've got my red apple behind my green apple. And that's what you want to do, make sure it's behind it so it looks like one. Okay, now what you want to do is create the text. So I hit T and type I, and by the way, everything you make in an animated GIF has to be on a separate layer. So all text, all pictures must be on a separate layer. So I'll make a separate layer and type in like, make another separate layer and type in apple. Okay, now you can just move it around to make it look like one sentence sort of thing. Now notice I've got all separate layers, and once you've done that, once you've made sure every text and every picture is on a separate layer and you've got your design final, you want to go up to Window and hit Animation. Now this little small box should come up on the bottom of your screen, and usually it comes up as a timeline like this, and usually it's stretched out all across your screen and hidden behind the layers panel. What you want to do is you want to select this and size it down so it fits and you can see. And you want to hit this button on the bottom right corner which says Convert to Frame Animation. Once you've done that, you should see a little square box at the start, and that's good. Now what you want to do is shut off all your contents except for the background, and you can do that by just clicking and dragging all the eyes except for the background. Now you want to go over to your timeline bar and you want to hit this button, second from the end, which says Duplicate Selected Frames. So press that once and then go to your Layers palette and turn on the eye, because that is the first layer we want people to see. Now duplicate this layer again down here, and then again go over to your Layers palette and turn on like. Now hopefully you can sort of see what we're doing here and just follow along. Again, duplicate this frame here and turn on apple here in the Layers palette. Duplicate it again and now turn both apple green and apple red. Now make sure they're behind each other, and now what you want to do in this frame is place this apple from where you want it to come in. So in my example, I had it coming from the top. So I want to select both the apple green and apple red, again by hitting Command or Control and moving it off the screen, just like that. It's somewhere up here, but you can't see it. Now duplicate this frame again, and this time move the apple to where you want it to end. So mine's right about there. So you can see in these two frames, this first one we have the apple somewhere up here, and in this next one we have it down here. What you want to do now is select the last frame and go over to this drop down menu, press it and go up to tween. Press tween and a window should pop up asking you how many frames you want to add before this last one. I just want to hit 5. That means in 5 frames this apple will come from the top to the bottom. Let's leave it at 5 and hit OK. So you can see now it's added 5 frames in between these two frames. Now in my animation I had it flashing red and green as it was coming down. That's really simple. You just go to every second frame and turn off the green layer. So let's do that. We'll leave the first one as green, go to the second one, turn it off, skip the next one, go to the next one, turn that off, skip the next one and go to the one after and turn the green off. Now you can see here we've got green, red, green, red, green, red. Now we want to duplicate this last one a couple of times, because if you remember I had mine flashing for a couple of seconds further once it reached the bottom. So we'll just duplicate it 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. And again we'll go to every second one, and this time we'll turn on the green. Just like that. So now basically we've had our animation done, and what we have to do now is set the time. If you notice along the bottom of each of these frames there's a time. Now on mine it says 10 seconds. That means it's going to take 10 seconds for this frame to reach the next one. Now that's a bit too long, so you want to hit the first one and select the first 5 layers in which you can't see the apple. And now I want to set the time. Just click the arrow down there and it gives you a whole bunch of times. You can click Allah and you can make your own time, but I'm just going to, for this, I'm going to choose 0.5. So again, that means it's going to take 0.5 seconds for this first frame to move on to the second frame. And that's what we want. And now I'm going to select the first frame in which you can see the apple and hold down Shift again and select all the way to where the apple is at the bottom. And again, I'm going to click the time and I'm going to make it 0.2. Now for the rest of these frames, I'm just going to hold Shift and select them all. I'm going to make them 0.5 seconds. So if we play it back now, this is what it should look like. Okay, so that's basically how you create an animated GIF. Hopefully this tutorial has showed you what to do, and hopefully it allows you to advance onto more difficult things. You only need your creative imagination, and hopefully you can create cool things. Please check out my other videos, and please subscribe, please comment, please rate. If you have any tutorial recommendations or requests, just email me or leave me a comment. I'll get to it and I'll try and make one for you. Okay, thanks for checking this out. See you next time.